So, spooky month. October is coming up, and that means scary movies. Let's talk about that. You're listening to CRollur and Willy, a nerdy podcast for elder millennials. I'm CRollur.
And I'm Willy. I heard gas.
Hi.
What's your name?
T. There's T.
Just T?
Just T.
Just T?
Yeah, like sweet tea.
Sweet. Oh, I like that. Sweet Tea. We got Sweet Tea as a guest today. So, we're going to be talking about what? Scary movies?
Yeah. And other horror-related things.
Okay.
You had a question that you wanted to bring up.
So, in order to win $3 billion, you have to survive 24 hours being chased by a horror villain of your choice. Which one would you choose?
I feel like the easiest answer is one that you could easily get by without having a problem. For 24 hours, you can usually just do Freddy Krueger because you don't.
You can't do Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit of cheating to choose that.
Yeah, because you can stay up 24 hours.
I do that on like a regular basis, like every other weekend.
I was trained to stay up 36 hours.
We can't choose Jaws, obviously.
I could just
we don't need water to live, right?
No, and technically,
apparently salt water is not good for you, so you can't drink that. So why would the fuck would you go drink it?
Yeah, it's very salty for many reasons.
Yeah, very salty.
Very salty.
So, what other horror film villains do you think you could actually survive?
Chucky.
Chucky?
Chucky. Just stand on a football field and kick that fucker as far as you can.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Just he's a pretty.
He can pounce up, but you gotta realize though, there's cameras on those wires. He would probably jump on one of them, and just
Yeah, but we don't have to stay here. We can go anywhere.
Yeah, you can go anywhere, but last time I checked, Chucky does follow you.
Yes. That's why it's called being chased by it.
So he's basically a serial killer trapped in a buddy doll, right?
Yeah.
Buddy doll?
Yeah. It's a tiny doll.
He wears bibs, right?
No.
He wears bibs. Does he wear bibs? He wears bibs.
Bibs? Are you?
Yeah, he wears bibs.
Are you talking about overalls?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bibs and overalls, yeah. Yeah, he wears bibs.
When I think of bib, I'm thinking of the things that you put on a baby.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can outrun him. So yeah, I would.
I'm pretty sure I can just hold that down him if he doesn't have a weapon.
But the problem is he can transfer his soul to any other dog, and that's the scary part about Chucky. So I think that's probably a bad decision.
Yeah.
What would you pick, CRollur?
I'm just sitting here thinking about all of the different ones, like the horror movies I know about are almost all like paranormal stuff. Because I don't watch that many horror films.
What about Annabelle? Do you know that one?
I do know Annabelle.
That's paranormal stuff.
And that would be terrifying too, because that's another doll that can just follow you around.
Well, the problem with Annabelle, the movie made the doll scarier than what the actual real doll looked like. I did some research on it, and it looked like just like a little plush doll that you find at Walmart.
Yeah.
So I would not even be scared of that thing.
Raggedy Ann.
I mean, you might not be, but there are some people that have a fear of dolls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got porcelain dolls in the house. I'm not scared of them.
Sweet. What about Michael Myers?
As slow as the man is, I feel like we could just avoid him by walking away.
I would probably walk about 20 yards away from him and have a staring eye contest with him and just run away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, his whole thing is intimidation.
First one to blink loses. Oh, you lose. I'm running.
I feel like his whole point is to be intimidating. He doesn't really chase after you. He just follows you until finally...
How's he catch up?
That's a good question.
Is it because people are stupid and they just run down the road and they're like, oh, I got to follow this road as I'm running, and Michael Myers or Jason would be like, oh, I'm just going to cut through people's backyards and catch up to this person.
Well, yeah.
With Jason, he can't die. He has come back to life so many times. Though in the movies, they did Jason dirty with some of the newer movies of him.
So who do you think is more intimidating, Jason or Michael Myers?
Well, they both kind of have super strength, but Jason.
He's a demon, though. Right?
I think Jason is probably for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Jason is probably the most scariest one to deal with. And could I go like 24 hours with him? Possibly. But my pick would be any killer from the movie Scream. The reason why, because they're human.
They're human, yeah.
And like, what I would do is I would board every window up, and I like to break things up, and like what I'll do is I'll put like a little snare like in the window, so they step in there and go whoop, throw the guy up, and it's human.
Somehow they get inside without you knowing.
They'll get inside.
Yeah, somehow. So you'll board up all the windows and find out you're stuck inside with them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, they're still human, so they're killable. Jason's not killable.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
And you two know me really well, what I would do. So I would probably end up grabbing, the first thing I would grab a plunger, stick it against the wall, now stab the killer right through that stake of that plunger.
You would have to sharpen it beforehand, though.
No, I'll force it.
It sounds so
Even
wrong.
then, I'm pretty sure you could probably sharpen it.
No, I probably shouldn't. I want that killer to like feel every pain,
What are you gonna do? Like pull him up by his waist and...
So I mean, at this point, I'm comfortable in saying that we have a new contender. We're just gonna say Willy over there is the new contender for a horror film.
I watch a lot of horror films.
Horror film villain of running away from and trying to survive 24 hours.
Oh no, I would win because I watch enough horror films where I know what to do and what not to do.
Well, I mean, the easiest thing to do is just not trip.
No, the easiest thing is not run away.
That is the worst trope in horror movies ever. It's like, come on, run faster. How did you trip?
What was that one movie with Paris Hilton in House of Wax? She tripped like every freaking scene. Even when the killer wasn't even like present, she tripped.
That was seriously creepy though.
How was that creepy?
Wax dolls? Well, wax sculptures?
With real people inside of it?
Yeah, I mean that is creepy. Even if you're not scared outright by the film, just the creep factor of the wax sculpture thing is creepy enough.
Yeah, it was pretty creepy, but they should have had a little bit better actors in the movie. So if they would have had better actors in the movie, it would have been like a 9 out of 10 film. But Paris Hilton just like killed the whole movie. Everyone's like, "Oh, look, it's Paris Hilton."
A lot of the films that I watched, all I have to do with like ghosts and demons and stuff that just haunt you.
Like Insidious, Conjuring, Annabelle, like all them.
Yeah, also Paranormal Activity.
No, I don't like Paranormal Activity.
Well, it's still the same thing, though. They're still demons.
I mean, if you like watching a movie, like a documentary of people's lives for like 45 minutes to something actually happens, then Paranormal Activity is perfect for you.
Yeah, there's also another one. I can't remember exactly what it was, whether it was like the fourth kind or something like that. I don't know. It was a documentary of alien abduction, and it was pretty scary to me.
Do you think Saul's scary?
Not really. It's more gore. More gore. Surviving 24 hours in that, it would be pretty hard.
That's what I wanted to point out. Like 24 hours in Saul, could you do it? No, I'll just stay in one room for 24 hours. At the very beginning, I'm like, all right, I'll just sit it out for 24 hours.
Some of those.
I mean, if you don't do anything, death is coming for you, though. You have to.
Not in the first room. Nope. You're safe in the first room.
I mean, I guess.
Would you consider Jigsaw to be like a villain?
Jigsaw is a villain, but he's more of a puppet. It's a guy that's running that puppet.
Well, yeah, but like, what do you consider what he does? Chasing you?
No, he don't chase you. They just set up like these traps, and just, like these little games.
Some of those traps were rigged.
And yeah, actually, they are rigged.
I think the one that was most memorable to me is where they hid the key to the room inside the person. And they had to cut it out.
That whole show was like just the whole series is messed up because they make it like in like the Saw series, right? You would go through this course. You're like, oh, but about to finally, finish it. Then they're like, oh, another thing that you gotta do, and they didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Then you end up getting your hand cut off.
I remember there was this one trap where they put like a metal ring inside this person's jaw. Like, that is not physically capable of coming out of you.
I don't consider Saw being scary. It was just like, it's like, oh, I don't want to see that. Like people getting their heads cut off.
I mean, horror films don't have to be scary. There's also thriller and gore and stuff like that.
Well, Saw is kind of like thriller because we never find out who the actual guy running the show was. We just saw that little puppet. Then, after like the third or fourth one, you find out who the actual person was. So it basically was kind of a thriller, but like a gory thriller that, was somewhat scary. It's better to watch in movie theaters, though.
What about American Horror Story? Have you guys ever seen that?
I watched I watched 2 different seasons of it.
2 episodes.
And I watched like the first season first of all, I barely understood it. But second of all, it just creeped me out. Just not scary, but creepy. Like there's a difference because like scary is something that like for me, it's where like I go to bed and I'm like freaked out. Whereas creepy is like I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying because there is 2 different kinds of scares. You got the jump scares and you got the creep scares. I guess I like the scary movies or scary shows as more jump scares. I don't like the ones where like it creeps me out and I have to sit there and like this is fucking stupid. So like what you watch, like what you recommend on horror?
I'm more of a very gory in person. I love movies that have like a shit ton of gore, like a lot.
Okay.
Or ones that can freak you out, or ones that are just original and.
But do you like a backstory?
A backstory? Sometimes I do like horror movies that like explain why a killer does its thing, or
right.
Because that's always a good thing to know. Like with Jason, his was actually pretty original considering that.
When did the backstory for Jason actually come out, though? That's the thing. I think it came out like later on in like the remakes and all that.
Wasn't it like in the second movie?
I'm not sure.
Or I think actually his backstory was actually more important when it was Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah, that one.
And that was a newer movie. Well, not new now, but it was back in the early 2000s. So.
It was really interesting to see that, though.
Right. And then, who do you think would actually... The real... Like, let's say Jason and Freddy was real. Who would win in a fight?
Well...
Not the movie.
What about, like, their lore and stuff? Like, with Freddy, he's just... He's powerful in, like, sleep realm, but, like...
Yeah, but he can find a way to put someone to sleep. That's what people keep forgetting, is that Freddy can... make you fall asleep.
You could, but here's the thing: is you can force yourself to stay awake for a while, even through drowsiness and all that.
Like butt chugging Adderall.
I've never seen Jason fall asleep though.
But
he fell asleep in the movie, apparently.
As I say, but at the same time, the original concept for our question was 24 hours. The movies take longer than 24 hours, which makes it harder.
Yeah. Oh, what about Quiet Place? Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, actually, I have seen it. I have seen it.
I don't think I've seen it.
Well, basically, the whole entire premise, aliens, like, really powerful aliens come to Earth. They're practically blind. They're blind. But they have really good hearing. When they hear you, like, even, like, farting will get you killed in that world.
Yeah, that's the movie where they blindfold themselves and if they need to go anywhere.
Bird Box. That's Bird Box. Quiet Place is like...
I know I've seen Quiet Place. I just gotta remember which one.
Well,
is that the one where the serial killer, like...
No, it doesn't have any serial killers. It's like... There's like... I'd say like 4 or 3 aliens that come to Earth, and like they have really good fucking hearing too. Like, and like,
well, I have bad hearing.
So I probably would not like that. I'm not a big fan of alien horror. Alien sci-fi is where I draw the limit for aliens. You cross over into horror with aliens, and it scares me. Mostly because
I
feel like it could
touched it once.
No, mostly because I feel like it could actually happen. Like, I feel like aliens are a thing.
I've been abducted.
I feel like it would be hard to survive that because you gotta be very quiet.
No, so when you say you don't like any kind of outer space horror films, you don't like Predator, you don't like Alien, you don't like
No.
Predator would be hard to survive unless you stay.
Well, no, I found a gun that you can actually kill the predator with, but I don't have it. It's called the Dinosaur Killer.
Hi, this is CRollur. I hope you are enjoying the podcast. If you are, please consider sharing this with your friends and family. Thank you for listening to and or watching the podcast. Now back to the show.
Out of the three of us, if a zombie apocalypse happens, out of the three of us, who has survived the longest?
Not me.
I mean, the one with the defenses, probably.
Well, the problem with me is I'm very clumsy. So I don't think, I won't get killed by a zombie, but what will happen is I'll fall and hit my head on my machete I'm carrying. So
my problem is I can't run.
You don't need to run. You just walk away from them.
Well, depending on what kind of zombies we're talking about. Are we talking about all of us are dead, or are we talking about Walking Dead kind of zombies?
Yeah, Walking Dead type zombies. Yeah, I mean, I can outwalk them. I get like 8,000 steps a day. I can outwalk them. How many steps do you get?
I would say that I usually get 10 to 12K.
All right, so you can outwalk a zombie.
Maybe not.
I'm pretty sure after like 3,000 steps, the zombies will be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm going to go for a new target.
I mean, sure, but it depends if they're fast. They can outrun me.
Well, if we're talking about Walking Dead type of zombies, those zombies are pretty slow, right?
Yeah.
If they're slow, yeah, I could probably outwalk them.
And the question is, are the cars going to work?
No, we're going to have the EMP where nothing works electronically. You can't use smartphones, you can't use, any kind of vehicle whatsoever.
That's a tough scenario.
I mean,
even in a lot of
bicycles.
Even a lot of zombie films, though, they have cars. They run out of gas eventually.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to make it like a hard one. Even when you have like live animal stock, like horses, cows,
at some point we're gonna run out.
Eventually, the zombies are gonna get a hold of them and wipe them out. And then you're on your own walking.
And the question is, theoretically speaking, if it's like a parasite or a virus, will that virus be able to affect animals?
No.
I feel like that's a scary scenario. Because I mean, the second an animal becomes like a zombie thing, like we have a problem. First of all, there are more animals than there are humans. Second of all, we eat animals, which means we can get infected just from the things we eat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'll get infected by something like stupid. Like I'll go to pet a raccoon and the thing bites me and I turn into a zombie. It's gonna be stupid as fuck.
I think we're gonna have to worry about like chipmunks, all the tiny ones.
Yeah, the chipmunk, like, oh, it's so cute, and then bites you right across the cheek, and then you're a zombie.
Monkeys, we gotta worry about monkeys too. Chimpanzees.
Monkeypox. You get monkeypox. You don't turn into a zombie. You get monkeypox.
Oh my gosh! But you did say chipmunks. I actually saw like this. It was like a student film from like a college somewhere, and they did like killer chipmunks.
What?
Yeah.
Have a chipmunk uprising.
It's basically what it was.
Like, what do they do?
They just filmed chipmunks jumping at the cameras.
They chuck things at them, like
I don't know how they did it.
Like chuck acorns at them or anything.
I don't know how they did it. They just film chipmunks like playing around and then eventually jumping at the cameras.
They chuck acorns at them.
And then they had like the little prop chipmunks that they stuck on themselves to look like they were being attacked by them.
I could do a better job. You don't think so?
I was thinking of stupid movies. And I was thinking there was this one movie that I saw it's a comedy, kind of, but it's not really. It's just like a B-grade movie that was. It was dumb, but it was called The Cook, and it's a
Never
horror,
seen it.
It's a horror film in which these college students go to some kind of house, and they're there to like just. I forgot why they were there, but they were there to have a good time or something. And there's a person there that comes in and he basically slowly kills them off one by one and then feeds them to themselves. Like, and his catchphrase the entire movie is I am cook.
Why is it always college kids? Because
college kids are naive.
So every scary, like, they're just gonna be like, oh, we're gonna use every scary movie as college kids.
That's an attractive age group for actors and actresses.
Oh, true.
Oh, that's true.
But
yeah, you make a good point on that one.
But I thought it was kind of a funny film. Just there's the whole concept. It's absolutely stupid. And at the end, somebody else pulls in there. And they're like, yeah, I'm the chef. I'm sorry I'm late. And the other guy had already just left. And there's like only 2 survivors from the entire thing.
Oh. At some point, I want to see someone make a horror movie with kids. Not like
The Shining or something like that.
No, like I want to have a horror movie where someone actively kills the kids. A full-grown adult kill the kids.
I'm pretty sure there was a movie.
I feel like that's really dumb.
I know, that's the point. But no one has ever done it.
I'm pretty sure they have. I think the Nanny, where that was a horror film. It was about a nanny killing kids or something like that.
I've never seen it, but there is.
Pretty sure.
There's one horror movie I've heard of. It's like a zombie movie, but it involves kids. It's called Cooties. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Cooties.
Oh, I see why they don't do it, because they do not want to do it because they're not going to get the rating, because people are like, oh, we don't see kids getting killed. Yeah.
I think a majority of people probably don't want to see that, but there are some people who do. I mean, there are people who want to see a lot of different things. And
well, if you want to see that kind of stuff, you might as well just go to the dark web.
I guess you could count it as doing that.
It.
Yeah, it.
Why do I always forget about it?
I don't know.
Oh, they've had multiple versions of that. They have the old version, the new version.
They have like 3.
3?
Yeah, 3.
The new version. You think that was good or bad?
I don't like the new one, like chapter 2, but I do like the first one. Yeah, the first it and the second first it, but not chapter 2. Chapter 2 is just
stupid.
Yeah. Okay, think of a horror movie, but like make it your own.
If I was gonna do a movie,
like a horror movie,
I would probably stick with paranormal, because that's the one that jump scares you.
What would you do?
Chains and whips.
Am I making it, or am I just coming up with a concept?
Concept of what you would like to see.
Like, is there anything specific you would want in it?
Not at the moment. I'd have to think about it for a little bit. Because if I was making it, I guarantee I'd go with the idea of like a paranormal activity type of thing, because I know how to do a lot of those tricks.
Oh, you
but
do?
But if concept is what I'd actually want,
watch it.
I definitely
Ghost.
No, that is not how you make a ghost.
You don't need editing for that one.
If you don't want editing, just get white sheets.
Oh.
Just hang it up by the ceiling and be like,
see, now it looks like we're all haunted right now.
You do know I made a horror film trailer called Ouija just before the actual movie Ouija came out. I didn't even think about it. I made it for a college course, and there were a lot of practical effects. Like, we stacked up boxes and tipped them over off camera so you couldn't see where they were tipped from. We actually had like the sliding door in the back of the house open and close by itself.
Wait, are you doing
with a shoestring, right?
No, that one was done by somebody laying on the ground. The string one was done with the chandelier swinging back and forth.
Oh.
Yeah, we actually had a shot where the chandelier just started swinging back and forth on it.
Do you still have footage of that video?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Can you actually put it on the podcast? Just like a small portion of it.
No, I'll just copy it over the podcast YouTube.
Wait, are you talking about the Richie Ford movie where like a mom kills her daughter in a bathtub or something, and then she kills herself?
Well, that is a movie that came out around the time that I made it.
I know that,
but I made it.
His idea was stolen.
I made this as a school project for digital art media classes. And it had nothing to do with that movie. I just thought it was ironic that it came out around the same period of time.
Were you using a smartphone when you recorded it?
No, I was using an old Canon.
Okay. Did any of your friends that was in that video have smartphones on them?
Probably.
Yeah, it was stolen. They watch your apps.
Hmm?
So your brilliant idea was stolen.
I don't think it was that, because the film was actually way different than mine. It just...
No, all he did was change up like a bunch of things up and stole your idea.
I don't think that's the case.
I feel like it would be a cool idea to take like a fairy tale or like a nursery rhyme and get into a horror movie. I've actually done that with like drawings wise.
I feel like
they tried to do that.
I feel like somebody's
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, they did that with
they're actually
Alice in Wonderland. They made it into a dark version of that Alice in Wonderland.
Are you talking about the official ones? Because those don't seem horror to me.
I mean, it looked horror to me when you got some guy that looked like he's like ready to kill you at any time.
I do believe I did hear that they're making Winnie the Pooh into a horror movie. And there's some pictures of it too.
You stole my honey. I'm gonna kill you.
I think the premise was that the kid he left and never came back, and like they started losing food, and then they became cannibals.
Is it gonna be like a Furby porn?
I don't know. I think there's pictures of it too.
Well,
it's a furry porn, isn't it? You got Winnie the Pooh, you got Piglet, you got that fucking rabbit, then you got the little
I don't know about that,
jumping cat or whatever.
I am thinking, I'm pretty sure Hansel and Gretel has been made into both an action movie and a horror movie, but I'm not positive on that.
I don't know. When she said Winnie the Pooh, like horror movie, it just sounds like furry porn to me. I don't know.
It's criminy.
What will you do, CRollur, if Winnie the Pooh comes after you with a jar of honey?
Unleash the bees.
You release the bees. Release the bees.
Release the bees. I would want to turn Red Riding Hood into a horror movie, because the way I'm thinking about it, if I'm gonna turn it into a horror movie, the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna make Red Riding Hood a cannibal. Because think about it, she lied about the wolf and she ate her grandma, but blamed it on the wolf.
What Red Riding Hood are you reading?
Is that the Brothers Grimm version?
I don't know, but the Brothers Grimm, they have some.
She has ruined my third grade Red Riding Hood edition book.
I'm pretty sure the typical story of that is that the wolf trapped her and the grandma, and that the Axemen came to save them.
I think that the Grimm Brothers version is pretty similar to the Disney adaptation, except I think there was like some. Are we gonna talk about like how like the Brothers Grimm stories are really, really dark?
I will mention one that kind of came to the top of my head, which is at the end of Cinderella, the sisters got their eyes pecked out.
Yeah, and they got.
What the fuck are you guys watching?
And they cut off like I think one sister.
What the fuck?
I think one sister cut off her heel and one cut off like one of her toes.
Yeah, so they could fit it into the.
And they got their eyes poked out. And I think it was at the end of
what?
At the end of Snow White. I believe it was at the end of Snow White. They put metal, hot burning shoes on the mom and made her dance until she died.
Now, I actually had to read that for a college thing in English. We had to read the different Cinderella stories, like Cinderella, Ashton Kutcher, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it.
I love
right.
you guys. I love to see you guys try to make Fox
I had
and Hound
to do
into
that, and I did a whole thing about how the Cinderella story is nothing but the story of the 7 deadly sins.
Trying to make Fox and Hound into a scary movie, huh?
You are going to destroy one of my favorite childhood movies.
Well, you already destroyed mine, so. You already ruined Cinderella. You already ruined, you want to add more to it?
Ruined Cinderella. Those were the original stories of that fairy tale. Disney
PG.
made it PG.
I like the PG version better. People, people appropriate. Don't cut someone's foot off and just force into like a.
They did it themselves.
They did it themselves because they wanted to. They wanted to fit the slipper and they couldn't do it. I was able to look up what the Winnie the Pooh looks like in the horror movie.
Oh,
can I see it?
Yeah.
Well, I would not steal his honey in the jar. I'll tell you that.
You aren't going to have to send that to me so I could.
Yeah, don't take Winnie Pooh's honey in the jar.
Yeah,
he will fuck you.
The horror movie's gonna be called Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey. Blood and Honey.
Blood and honey.
Yep.
So he wants people's blood to put in his honey.
Do you want to see what Piglet looks like?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Piglet's gonna look.
Well, they make a cute little rat. What the fuck is Piglet? A pig?
Yeah.
They make a cute little pig look like he wants to like.
Well, that actually looks like a warthog.
Yeah, it looks pretty accurate to how pigs look.
CRollur, he would bite your asshole out and rip your rectum right out. Yeah, I would not even fuck with that.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be messing with wild boars. Actually.
Well, no. Why would you? Don't feed them a carrot because they're gonna bite your face off. I just feel like they, destroyed Winnie the Pooh's reputation because he used to be like a cute little bear you just want to hug. Now he just wants to kill you.
I mean, you could do that with any character.
I think the reason
Superman.
They already did Superman.
Oh, they did.
There are bad versions of Superman, evil versions of Superman.
Oh, Nicolas Cage version, right?
That's not what I'm going after. I mean, literally evil versions of Superman.
The reason why they're being able to release this movie is because, the timeline on Winnie the Pooh, it's done.
So when is that supposed to come out?
I don't know if I want to watch that. I don't want to watch my everyday hero become like a serial killer. Why the fuck would I watch that?
I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. I'm CRollur.
I'm Willy.
T.
We got T over here as a guest, and hopefully she'll be back sometime for another podcast. Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Well, give me a unicycle. I'll jump 4 sharks.
Do you think you can do that?
Yo, fuck yeah, I can.
I don't
do a backflip and land on that unicycle.
I don't think you can even get on the unicycle.
Probably not.